Good evening, everyone. My name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD 89, a VA claims consultant, and Leave No Vet Behind, and also I'm a United States Army veteran. Thank you for joining me this evening for my bi-weekly live Q&A session where I answer veterans' questions as it pertains to the VA disability compensation claims process. So before we get started, just want to let everybody know, as a disclaimer, this Q&A, this Q&A session is for educational and informational purposes only. Okay. As I stated in my videos, I always encourage veterans to continue to go out and conduct their own research. As we all know, the VA claims process does change from time to time. So before we get into tonight's video, if everybody could tell me where you're joining in from. We got Eagle Wings. He or she is joining in from Kansas. Joe, Dwayne, good evening. I'm joining in from Coppers Cove, Texas. Wow, I used to live in Coppers Cove, Texas. So when you come out of Fort Hood, when you come through the range area and you get right into Coppers Cove, there's I don't know if it's still there, but there's an apartment complex right to the right. I used to live in those apartments. Okay. We got Ron joining in from Arlington, Texas. Thank you, Ron. AJ, hey, good peoples. Hey, how we doing, AJ? Mike Maddox, thanks for all the information you provide. It's very helpful. Thank you, Mike. I do notice that you do support me on Facebook. You do a lot of likes on the posts that go up. So I really appreciate that. Okay, we got Feet from Illinois. What part of Illinois you're from? I used to live in Illinois, Southern Illinois, down below Carbondale, a little town called Ullen, Illinois. Okay, so before I get into the Q&A, everybody make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. If this is your first time joining in this evening, welcome. I know you enjoy it. Also, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. So I just want to update everyone. I know last year and early this year, you heard me talk about the school supplies, the giveaways. So I was able to get all the product down. And I had a company from Atlanta donated the proceeds that a lot of people donate every other week during this live stream, help pay to get the product down here, to pay school supplies down here. I was able to disseminate that those school supplies. We were able to support one nonprofit organization, Seminole Tribe in Tampa, Florida, 2 elementary schools. One is Tampa Heights Elementary School in Tampa, one high school, Boca Ciega High School over in St. Petersburg, Florida, and Lake Vista Civic Center in South St. Petersburg, Florida. So when people donate here to the live stream, I take those funds and I was able to get those products transferred from Atlanta, Georgia, down here to Tampa, and myself, one of my employees, and another gentleman that's the owner and founder of Kidney Care Coaches. He partnered with us, and we delivered and helped deliver these items to school. So I know Mike Maddox probably saw some of the pictures and some of the posts. We haven't updated the pictures on our website. That is coming. But if you're part of my Facebook veterans group, you should have been seeing a lot of posts. If you follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, you should already seen a lot of the pictures on posts that we posted about the school giveaway. So a lot of paper products, had about 12 pallets, and still got a little bit of paper left in my garage. But for the most part, I'm able to get my car back in the garage. Okay. Don't forget, next month's Veterans Roundtable, have it every third Thursday of every month. To be September 15th at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Super excited to have a guest speaker coming on to talk about VA home loans. What are some of the requirements? What are some of the new updates? And how does a VA home loan compare to conventional FHA loans that are out there? And then the current interest rates, okay? Some of my previous videos, I did one about VA reevaluations. I was getting a lot of questions from veterans saying, hey, VA called me, I got an exam, okay? So trying to get vets to understand when sometimes they may be called in for a reevaluation, and when not, when the adjudicator, when they're not supposed to schedule a reevaluation. Okay, so that video is up, and then we have my last video was about sleep apnea. Okay, so those are the 3 latest videos. If you haven't checked them out, make sure you go to my YouTube channel and check those out. All right. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump into tonight's Q&A. So tonight's first Q&A is from Eagle Wings. Hello, Dwayne. Thanks again for all you do for us. It's a huge part in taking care of your own, and it's greatly appreciated. Thank you, Eagle Wings. Eagle Wings, I really appreciate the support. I know you've been on here before and also asking questions, so it's definitely appreciated. So the question is, I applied for a couple of things and was denied in the past for them. I noticed that they are under the MUCMI, which is part of the Gulf War presumptives. Okay. Is this filed on, I'm assuming you're saying, okay, what form is this filed on since submitted already and denied? NOD needs new evidence. Okay. So whenever you're denied and you go back in and you file a claim, regardless if it's presumptive or not, it needs to be on a VA form 20-0995, and you need what is called new and relevant evidence. Okay, new evidence is evidence that was not part of the claims file when they had initially adjudicated that claim, and it has to be relevant to what you're claiming. Okay, those 2 things. It says I gave them all I had. Do I file an EZ form 0995? Need some of that serious validity guidance. Okay, I hear you, Weez. I hear you. So again, 0995. But also, even before you even get to that, if you're claiming it as a presumptive, what evidence do you have to back it up? Does it meet that criteria? Okay, and then again, when you get to the CMP exam, how do you reasonably articulate that to the CMP examiner? I am starting to see a lot of claims come back denied after the veteran goes to that third-party contractor. I remember when I was rating at the VA before I retired, and they started, the VA outsourced these. A lot of those third-party contractors, they were real favorable to the veteran, but I'm starting to see a trend where it's going in the opposite direction. Okay, and I know that for a fact because I talk to veterans, a lot of veterans on a daily basis. They say, hey, I went to LHI, went to QTC, and I was treated in service or for whatever, denied. So we want to make sure that you know what you're claiming, how you're claiming, what you're saying you're claiming under presumptive, which is a good thing, and then you're doing a reopen, okay, on the 0995. But, go to the M21 and look at, they have, let's see, where was it at? When you listed the MU, okay, there's MUCMI, some of the symptoms that, you may have or diagnoses, okay? All right. Hey, I definitely appreciate that. And thanks for all the support. Thanks, Wayne. Hey, congrats, you're 100% now. Help now. I put in for ED, hoping it gets approved secondary to all the meds I'm currently taking. So this is something that you can claim secondary to medication you're taking for service-connected conditions. Okay, but again, make sure one thing that I would do is Google that medication. What is some of the side effects, and then maybe take it to the exam with you, a bottle of it, and say, hey, this is what I prescribed since I've been taking this. Hey, been having experiencing ED, and I've been prescribed, maybe Viagra, Cialis from the VA. All right. Charles, hope we talk about some of these Gulf War presumptives. Hey, I'm glad you brought that up, Charles. I did a video a few weeks back about the new PACT Act. Okay. And I went through, I shared my screen, and I went through and I was showing everyone how the VA has added 20 new conditions to the PACT Act. Okay, I'm gonna raise my microphone up here. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I was showing how the VA, showing that the VA added 20 conditions to the PACT Act. Okay, I'm sorry, 20 conditions to Gulf War presumptive. And they added some things to Agent Orange exposure as well, locations. So again, Charles, go check out that video. There's a lot. Now, I will say this about the PACT Act. I was working at the VA when they had a law change for Agent Orange presumptive where they added 3 new presumptives to the Agent Orange list under 38 CFR 3.309 subpart E, right? And we were rating claims and veterans that were denied a heart condition, okay? They added that one of the 3 conditions that they added back in August 2010, it was coronary artery disease. So all those Vietnam veterans that were denied, like in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, early 90s, and even some of the 2000s, we had to go back and grant back to those effective dates. We had to look for evidence for, the criteria back then and do stage ratings. So this is, if not one of the, or if not the largest law changes in VA history. Charles, go back, check out that video, because all vets, keep in mind, 2 conditions. I know one condition is on there. Let's just take chronic sinusitis, okay? Let's just say you served in Southwest Asia, which Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi, Afghanistan, and they have some other locations on that list. And you filed a claim years ago, let's say 2002, and they denied it as a presumptive. You can come back in, okay, reclaim it, and it can be awarded under Gulf War presumptive under the PACT Act. So definitely go check out that video. Got a lot of information in there for you. So you want to make sure you educate yourself. And, I tell people, submit that FOIA request and get a copy of your claims folder. In videos, I show my claims folder, paper claims folder. I kept everything that the VA sent me, and I kept a copy of everything that I sent them, okay? Rating decisions, all the CMP exams, all that stuff, okay? Because if you're going back in, claiming something under the PACT Act, and you were denied for one of those diagnoses that's been added to that Gulf War presumptive, now you got evidence. You can say, hey, I'm coming back in, refiling a claim for chronic sinusitis, rating decision dated June 1st, 2005, denied me presumptive. Now it's been added to the PACT Act, and there you go. You go from there, okay? Okay, who we got? Orange. Should secondary supplemental claims have private doctors DBQ, and does that guarantee win? Okay, so it's your choice if you want to have a private doctor to complete a DBQ. That would be up to you. Does it guarantee a win? No. Here's why. I did a video earlier this year, maybe a couple of months ago, and on a trend that I've been seeing some VA employees take when veterans submit private DBQ. They're still requesting the exam. And veterans are like, wait a minute. Why is an exam being requested when I have a private DBQ? Okay. Now, I can't nail down a reason why. Okay. But I will tell you this. What can you control? You cannot control that. So then you have to ask yourself, what in this process can I control? And I'm giving a personal example. One of my last claims, I filed an increase. 2 increases. Went to my private doctor, had my DBQ, and by the way, 100% P&T at the time. When I filed those claims for 2 increases, I wasn't worried about them. They didn't go back and look at anything else in my file, meaning stuff that I had claimed years prior to that. Okay. Now, when I submitted that, I got a call from QTC saying, hey, we need you to report for an exam. I told QTC I'm not reporting to your VA exam, a third-party exam, because I don't want there to be any conflicting medical evidence in my file. Because I knew that it was if I went, they could have used their doctor's DBQ against mine. I didn't want to give them the ammunition to do that. Now, I'm not telling veterans not to go. I'm not telling veterans they should go. What I am telling you to understand and be educated if your DBQ is actionable and sufficient. So if you're like me and that happened, you fall in that scenario like myself, then you know you can make a conscious decision. Hey, you know what? I'm going to fight it tooth and nail to make them use my information. But if you do decide to go, understand there's a large chance, there's a 95% chance that they may use that private doctor's DBQ. I'm sorry, their third-party contractor DBQ against your own doctor's DBQ. All right. Just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not telling veterans they shouldn't go. I'm not telling veterans they should. Be educated. I used to give classes on what makes a DBQ actionable and sufficient, what makes a nexus statement actionable and sufficient. Now I only do those classes on request. So if you want me to do one of those classes for you or your organization, reach out to me and we can get that set up. All right. So we got 111 people in here. Somebody let me know how many likes we have here tonight. We got some people coming in from Facebook. All right, definitely appreciate it. Traveling Terry, what's going on? Traveling Terry from Vieira Beach tonight. Patrick Air Force Base tomorrow. Okay, all right. I see you over there. Beverly Wilson, Ellison, Chicago, Illinois. You used to live in Chicago, Illinois as well. Out on the south side. Okay, Mike Maddox, okay, coming in from North Carolina. Thanks again, Mike, for all the support. Got Jeremy Haynes. Hey, Jeremy, how we doing? From Texas, see you logged in from LinkedIn. Definitely appreciate the support. Tony, we got Tony, okay, coming in from Puerto Rico. We got EOE from Fort Bliss. Nelson from DC, Maryland area, okay. Monica coming in from West Palm Beach. Welcome. All right. So Gulf, California. Okay. I see you. We got, we got the ATL in the house. We got Memphis. Okay. All right. Baltimore. Okay, Rebecca. Hey, how you doing, Rebecca? We met, Rebecca and I, we met last year. I spoke at a vet symposium for veterans at HCC, Hillsborough County Community College, Del Mabry campus in lab. I met her there. So, and we're connected on LinkedIn. So thanks for the support. Thanks for joining in this evening. Somebody tell me how many likes we have. Got Louisiana. Okay. California. Colorado. Okay. Man, I tell you, man, we got people logging in from all over. So definitely appreciate the support. Copper Skull has grown a lot in the last few years. Yeah. When I left Fort Hood, it was in September 97. So I know it has grown a lot since then. Chicago, Chi-Town. Okay. There we go. Scott Air Force Base. It's up in, where is that? Is that in Marshall, Missouri? I know it's between Columbia, Missouri and Kansas City. Or is Scott in Belleville, Illinois? Okay. I see you there, Alvin. Go, Ma. Okay, Louisiana. We got Virginia. Stephen from Virginia. Okay, Mr. Jordan. Hey, again, thanks you for that super sticker, Mr. Jordan. Just like to let everybody know, every time you donate during the live stream, all my YouTube revenue I receive monthly, I put back in the community. Okay, the schools I adopted, we do things for them. The next event that I'm having, that I'm going to be doing for Jennings Middle School, which is one of my adopted schools, is last year, these funds, your donations helped us feed 20 families in need. You go out to my website and you can see on the corporate responsibility page where pictures where we were able to donate this food. They had each family got a turkey, frying baking pan, turkey injection, cake mix, cake icing, corn, string beans, potatoes, rice, a bunch of stuff that helped them during Thanksgiving to feed at least, I would say, probably 3 or 4 people in the family. Okay. So this year, with your help, we're looking to do more than just 20 families. Okay. So these super stickers, these donations that you give, we take that revenue and we put it back in the community. And this year, the next event is going to be feeding these families, okay, at that middle school. So I got the link to my website. A lot of you probably already saw it. But this link, when you click on the link in the comment section, it may come up. It comes up with my name and under my Facebook business page. Okay, so you can see the pictures from last year. And so when we get updates, the pictures and stuff like that, then we'll upload it to the website. Now, I'd like to give a shout out to Josh Photography. He's a federal veteran, met him last year at the Vet Symposium. He came out and donated his time. He came out and donated his time. He's a professional photographer in the Tampa area. He came out to 3 different events, 3 different locations where I donated these products, donated his time, didn't charge my organization a penny. He knew what we were doing in the community. He wanted support. And then we turned around and supported his initiative through his church and gave some products where he adopted an individual down in Dominican Republic and was able to send cases of some book bags and some school supplies through his church down to the Dominican Republic. Okay, we got Greensboro. We got Mr. Clinton Day. How you doing, Mr. Day? Thanks for joining in. Thanks for the support. Met Mr. Day. He was actually a facilitator at a vet entrepreneurship program that I attended. Great individual, Vietnam veteran. Thank you for your service and helped me out a lot as it pertains to this whole entrepreneurship. Him, his team, the HCC, Hillsborough County Community College, Del Mabry campus, the N-Lab, Greta, Andy, Beth, Clint, they're a godsend for veterans that are looking to start their own business. Dr. Andy Gold, I did an interview with him back, I think, in January, and you can find that interview on my YouTube channel. A lot of good information. So thank you, Clint, for what you do for veterans, and thank you for your service. All right, Mike Maddox, he says, let us know how we can send a donation in support of what you do for us vets. Okay, Mike, you can do the donation here. It should be under the video. Mr. Jordan and everybody else that donated, if you wouldn't mind putting in the comment section, because I'm not seeing the screen that you see. Or if you're watching in my videos, you can click on that $sign. I think it's on the right and in the right corner underneath the video. Okay. And then you can donate there. If not, you can go to my website, scroll all the way down. My address to my company is there. You can send a check, money order, or whatever. But I definitely appreciate you, Mike. Okay, we got Milwaukee. Okay. I have a nephew that's a firefighter in Milwaukee. Okay, Miss Jordan, if you find yourself in Michigan, I know a good barbecue spot for you. Okay, is it Detroit? Where are we talking about in Michigan? All right, I was told yesterday by a regional office that they are legally not allowed to give me a copy of CMP until after claim is complete. Is that a fact? No. Now, if you go to most public contact offices, a regional office, some may give it to you, some won't. I interviewed an Army veteran last November, late November, early December, and she said she went to the regional office in New Jersey. She went to Philadelphia. They wouldn't give it to her. She drove to, I think, Trenton, New Jersey, and they gave it to her. But you can submit a FOIA request to the VA and get a copy of your VA claims file, and that'll have all your CMP exams. Now, if you ever do a CMP exam at the VA, okay, the VA CMP medical center or office, you can go to release of information and get a copy, or you can go and log into My Healthy Vet and get a copy of it, okay? But if it's a third-party contractor, you have to submit that FOIA request. Okay, even from Sumter, South Carolina, all right? Okay, AJ, filed for TDIU in June, listed TBI, PTSD, and lumbar spine on 8940, attended all 3 exams, late June, early July. The NVA scheduled me again. I had both TBI. Any idea why? You know what, AJ, you're not alone. I've been hearing from a lot of veterans that's been happening, that happened to. I don't have an answer as to why. Maybe the first exam, the examiner just botched all the exams and the VA didn't have the information that they needed. But the most important part, AJ, you have to think about, TDIU is not a standalone claim. I did a video on it. It's on my YouTube channel. I think it's maybe a couple of years old, but the information in it is still correct. TDIU is not a standalone claim. It is a claim for increase for your TBI, for your PTSD, for your lumbar spine. So you have to be service connected, okay? So they're going to send you in for an increase exam, all right? So what's key? PTSD, 9411, general rating criteria for mental conditions. If you're 50%, do you meet the 50? I'm sorry, if you're 50%, do you meet the 70? Do you meet the 100% criteria? TBI, diagnostic code 8045. What are the facets? What are the facets? Okay. Then spine, possibly under diagnostic code 5237. General rating criteria for the lumbar. If you're at 10%, what is the forward flexion range of motion criteria for the 20%? What is the forward flexion range of motion for the 40%? What is the combined range of motion criteria? Okay, so you always want to know that stuff before you get to those CMP exams. And also the lumbar spine, how do they measure that range of motion? By a goniometer. They can't, a lot of them try to eyeball it. Might want to tell them, hey doc, you need to measure this by using a goniometer. And also, guess what, AJ? I did a video on that as well. Okay, Mike says, yep, it was great. All right, RV, I got new evidence to prove I should be at a higher rating. I got new evidence to prove I should be at a higher rating. Okay, before we get to that, RV, under the diagnostic code, do you meet that criteria for the high rating? Does that evidence match that? Okay, new meds, worsening symptoms, etc. Okay, again, what diagnostic code is signed for that service-connected condition, and do you meet that criteria? We just can't think because, oh, I'm taking meds, I'm doing this. That's the criteria. Get the criteria. Should I file for supplemental claim 0995 for the increase of rating 526Z and within my 1 year? Okay, so 526Z. We have to understand what forms are for what. 526Z, you'll see, maybe initial claim, secondary claim, increased claim, presumptives. Now, 0995, you were previously denied. You're coming back in to reopen that claim. 0996, high level review. Okay. Feet says Cash App donations for content creators are better for them because YouTube takes 30% of the super chat donations. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, there we go. Mrs. Jordan responding. Carlos, hi from PR. I have my first 10% with 5 cases open. Okay, congratulations. Stay in the fight, Carlos. Jay Boogie asks, I was awarded sleep apnea at 30% as a secondary condition. However, I have a CPAP. Okay, did you have a CPAP at the time you filed a claim? Did you send in that prescription for the CPAP machine? I put in a high-level review to correct the error. Did a high-level review? Can the DRO sever the service connection? Yes, they can. If they see that you wasn't not supposed to be awarded sleep apnea, okay? Sometimes they may go back and dig. Sometimes they may not, okay? Something may jump out, something may not, okay? But again, if you know that you should have been warranted, you got a copy of your claims file, you did everything that you were supposed to do, then it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, Sean, Sean Ingram, thanks again for the donations, for the super donation. Getting tongue tied. Thanks for the donation. Definitely appreciate it. All the support. Again, we take these funds and we go out and do things in the community for these adopted schools. All right. So thanks very much. I definitely appreciate it. Okay. VA diagnosed me with gout, variant asthma. I did a tour, OEF. Is that something I can claim for CVA? Isn't asthma even that they prescribe with daily asthma medication? Okay. Just because the VA hospital diagnosed you with something doesn't mean you can go on the benefit side. So VHA diagnosed you. That means you can go on VBA benefit side and receive service connection and get compensation for it. So again, how are you claiming if you're OEF? I don't think, I'll have to look at it again because somebody asked me. I don't think asthma is on the Gulf War presumptive as one of the Gulf War presumptives. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't, then you would have to state your case. Hey, I'm claiming asthma as a Gulf War undiagnosed illness. Then you have to explain, hey, when I came back from the Gulf, been exposed to burn pit, hazardous or particulates or something like that. Now I have asthma, all right? And then the doctor will have to make that connection or state that it's an undiagnosed illness. Melvin, hello, can you submit claims for PFAS, forever chemicals, contamination of water supply on basis? Only one out there is contaminated water. Okay, I'm back. Said lost my volume. But anyway, Melvin, you can go out to the M21. I go to the M21 first because then you can type in Camp Lejeune, and then that can take you to the 38 CFR. But also you'll have the criteria, all the criteria for the Camp Lejeune contaminated water presumptives. Okay, I lost my white mic. Someone let me know if everybody can still hear me. Back in. Okay. So Broadman said no sound. Lamont says no sound. Okay. Do I have a sound now? I do apologize. Good now. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ricky. I definitely appreciate that. Sorry about that. I don't know. It just says lost the connection. Maybe I got too many browsers open. But anyway. Okay. Here we go. Corporal saw private doctor after Afghanistan deployment 12 years ago. Prescribed Ativan for anxiety. Now the doctor has died and practice has closed. Still have a prescription bottle though. Would it be evidence? Yes, it would. It would be that a prescription bottle would be evidence. Jeremy says, "What's the M21?" Okay, Jeremy, the M21 is a reference manual that VA employees have to follow for adjudication procedures and high-level review. It's not law, but the reason why you may hear me talk about the M21 and show slides in a lot of my videos, because it's easier to search, do a keyword search, okay? And then when you do that search, you'll find court cases pertaining to some topics that you're looking for. And it's easier to get to the 38 CFR because you pull up the 38 CFR, the Code of Federal Regulations, it's like a black hole. It's a lot of information. You may be in there searching for a couple of hours. The M21 narrows that search, okay? So if you go in, let's say you put in Camp Lejeune, all right? You'll see a lot of references as it pertains to Camp Lejeune, and then in some of those references at the bottom, it'll have a 38 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations. You can open that and it'll give you possibly some additional information, okay? But sometimes the M21, depending on the topic, can mirror the 38 CFR, all right? I think it was a few months back, maybe March, maybe April, May or June, one of my roundtables, I would show people, I gave them the link to the M21 and I showed them how to conduct searches, okay? It's that time. Greetings, Dwayne. Let's see. How it goes. All glory to them doesn't like. I turned on notification 4 hours ago and it still did notify me. Okay. Well, Chris, every other week at 7 p.m., I'm going to be here live. And then when I create this live event, I don't know, I have to check, but it should be popping up on if you're getting that notification on YouTube. So somebody that subscribed to the channel here tonight, let me know and it's that time though. If you received a notification, I think it was yesterday that I was going to go live tonight. And also if you're part of my Facebook veterans group, VA Disability Service Connection, or you follow me my Facebook business page under KMD 89 VA Claims Consulting, I list or I put the thumbnail there and let people know when I'm going live. That's how the individuals on LinkedIn, like Jeremy, he must have saw it there on LinkedIn. All right. KMD does chronic fatigue is a presumptive claim. Yes, could be. Now, go out. Again, I would start the search with in the M21 reference. Put in chronic fatigue because a lot of information, as much information as you can about it. Okay, and some of the criteria. No more CMP exams for me. All private from here on out. I remember when I made that decision, Charles. I was like, nope, not going back anymore. You've been screwing me over, not listening. I'm going to take bulls by the horn. And exactly what I did. Wait on claims file now, but I already got an anthropologist who has agreed to do my DBQ and nexus on my way at 70% right now. Hey, congratulations on deciding that and making that move to go ahead and take your claim into your own hands to move forward. That's something I had to do. Nelson, is it worth it to file additional claims for like presumptive items if you're already 100%? You can if you want to. That would be totally up to you. I had a couple of conditions that I claimed once I became 100% PNT. I wouldn't worry about anything because I knew I did everything the right way. Everything that I submitted had all my I's dotted, my T's crossed. So that would be up to you if you want to. Okay, Marlon, I am currently at 90%, 80 for renal disease, 30 for total knee replacement, 20 for scarring, 10% for tinnitus, 10%, additional 10 for painful scarring. I am 62 and I'm retired, and I retired in March of this year at 61. Okay, so the overall, what is your overall evaluation? If you're 90%, that means you fall between 85% and 94%, okay? Okay, checking in from Somerset, New Jersey. All right. Hey, how we doing? I believe in Jesus Christ. Hey, thank you for the support, the comments to some of YouTube videos. Big Sam, in the claims process, are there only certain regional offices that handle PTSD claims, or are these claims work all over the offices, all over? Okay. Trust me, I've conveyed it through, combed through your videos for a few weeks now. I'm definitely educated now, thanks to you. Hey, not a problem. And that's what I tell people, it's about, a large part of it is about being educated. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to get service connected, but what it does guarantee that you have a better chance to become service connected if you are entitled to it. Okay. And, and then it still may take some time. Okay. Because there's hundreds of VA employees, there's hundreds of CMP exam doctors, there's hundreds of regulations. Okay. So there's always a good chance, but there's always a bad chance that you may not. But if you are educated, then that's going to alleviate some of that frustration because you'll know, hey, they made a mistake. Okay. And before we move on, I want to let everybody know, if you are part of an organization, okay, a company, a vet organization, I am doing presentations now. I've had some companies reach out to me and ask me to do these presentations. The presentation is about 3 hours long and a Q&A. I leave an hour for a Q&A, okay? So if you're part of the organization, reach out to me. You probably saw some of my posts where I was promoting that. Reach out to me and I can explain a little bit more in detail of what that is. And also on my website, there's a link, and I'm going to put this link in the comment section, okay? So if you're part of an organization, local VFW, work at a university or anything like that, reach out to me. I've done this presentation for organizations in the past and got a lot of good reviews. So I'm gonna expand on that, open it up to do it for more organizations. So the link I just put in the comment section. So definitely go check it out. All right. Marilyn, thank you. Marlon, thank you for the a donation, I definitely appreciate it. I'll definitely be submitting supplemental claim for previously denied harassment. Okay, there you go. Feet says, does a person need your e-benefits login to file your claim for you? Does a person? I would be on, if okay, keep in mind now, if they're a accredited claims agent, if they are a accredited lawyer, they can file a claim for you. They don't need your e-benefits login. We educate our clients. We never ask our clients for their e-benefits login. Okay, so if it's someone that's not a claims agent or a accredited attorney that you've given permission to file a claim for you, and even in that case, I don't see why they would need your login. You might want to be careful for that, because a lot of our clients that we educate, we never ask for their login. We don't even need it. Okay. Can I submit a DBQ for GERD as secondary to PTSD meds? Yes, but don't forget about that nexus. And also don't forget to make sure it's actionable and sufficient. Okay. Okay, Grizzly All Day says, hey, we got 49 likes. We got 110 people in here. Let's get those likes up. We got about a little under 20 minutes left. So I'm going to get through as many questions as I can. Okay, got John Lee from Houston. Wilford, I have been 100% for about 4 years now. I am not P&T, which with no re-exams coming in the future, according to the VA, is it possible that I can automatically become P&T after a certain time? Okay, so that's a problem, Wilfredo. You would have to go back through all the rating decisions. Okay, I did a video a couple years ago about routine future exams. If you go to my YouTube channel, look up routine future exam, that video will come up. And in there, I share a screenshot of a example of a rating decision. So if you have all your rating decisions, go back through, look at all the narratives, and see if in the narrative at the bottom of each one of those conditions, if there's a statement that says, since there's a likelihood of improvement. Okay, if you have one of those, that means you have a routine future exam. If not, then I don't know why they haven't given you P&T, unless one of those conditions is like a cancer or something, and they just haven't came back up and gave you that reevaluation. Okay. Okay. Should I pay for a Nexus letter service? I did, but I went. Let's see, what did I do? I went to my doctors. I just paid a copay. But there are veterans. Some of my clients, they pay for the Nexus. They pay for the DBQ. We review them. We make sure that they're actionable and sufficient. We educate them on the information that's in it before they submit it to the VA. So if you're looking for someone to do a DBQ and Nexus statement, reach out to me. Our clients, once you become a client, we have individuals that can do that. All right. Why VA doctors don't write Nexus letters? They don't have the time. The way it was explained to me, my primary care, they say they have an hour to see a vet and maybe, do some other stuff like update their prescriptions or write prescriptions, look at labs, maybe put in for some stuff through prosthetics, like custom inserts or whatever, like stuff like that. So they used to years ago, but a lot of them don't. But I've heard some veterans say, "Hey, my primary care wrote me a DBQ," but I think the majority of them, they do not. JP, hello, Dwayne, just filed for a full claim for an increase. Today is 3 weeks. Haven't heard anything. The waiting part is the hard part. Your videos have helped me a lot. Thank you. Hey, not a problem. Definitely appreciate the support. That's what the videos are out there for. But if you're still confused, schedule a free 15-minute consultation. Go to my website, look at the services that I provide, and I will put the link in the comment section. Okay. So it's in there now. These are all the services that I provide. So even on a website, But I'll just take a minute to share with you. Okay. Okay. So if you can see this, take this off. Okay. So if you can see this, this is my website. Okay. This is where all the services that we provide: customized educational packet, educational webinars, DBQ review. We got Nexus letter review, private Q&A session. That's a one-on-one private Q&A session with me in review of service treatment records. All right. So this is our website, which shows our services. And also, I put that link in the description section, and then our company training. So if you come here, I have a short video here that you can watch on the benefits of bringing me in to do this presentation. It's about 3 hours long. In the past, we broke it up over 3 weeks, where once a week we do a lunch and learn, an hour lunch and learn for the employees. And here are some of the organizations that we've partnered with in the past and did these presentations for. Okay. Then we have the see, here we go, training presentation at the bottom. But this video here will explain the benefits of bringing us in and doing this presentation. Okay. All right. And I put that link in the description section for the group training. I'll put it in there again. I'm sorry, not the description section, but in the comment section. Okay. All right. There we go. Got that. All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off at? File a fully developed claim. Okay, we got Grizzy all day from Conyers, Georgia. Greg, Belleville, Illinois. Okay, know exactly where that's at. All right, we got 64 likes, 124 people in here. Come on, people, let's get these likes up. Somebody help me. Nevada. Okay, yeah, Scott is in Belleville. Okay, yep. Reggie from Dallas, Texas, Navy vet. 90% and pushing. Okay, I see you. 47. Okay, people, if we're in here, show me some love. Give me some likes. Pastor from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay. I'm new. Hey, thank you. Stay blessed. Appreciate it. I hope you subscribe, hit the notification button. I'm new to this, but I need to know how to change what VA hospital they sent me to. Is it possible, or am I just stuck going where they sent me? No. Wherever you want to go, you would have to go to hospital, go to, I think it's eligibility, and tell them you want to make that your primary. Okay. Broke nose 2 years before service. It noted on the entrance exam, can I file for DA septum to get sleep apnea service connected? Yeah, you can. It's not a guarantee, but that would fall on the pre-service aggravation. Okay. Pre-service aggravation. Okay, it's that time. Here we go. Another super sticker. Definitely appreciate it. I'm going to share my screen again because I want to show everybody the website. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, there we go. I want to show everybody the website that my website, corporate responsibility. And these are some older pictures. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have looked at it, but here's some pictures. We're going to update this hopefully in the coming weeks. But these are some things that we've been able to do in the community. Let me tell you, I moved these refrigerators, and man, when I got done, my feet hurt, my ankles hurt, my knees hurt, my lower back hurt, and you can see I'm sweating. But Home Depot donated 2 large refrigerators. And then here's the pictures of me, and that's my family. This is the principal here. My family helping put together put the items in individuals' cars. Okay, here's a vet, Dr. Mark Gadari. He participated in the Great American Teach-In. He's a client. He's also a vet as well. So definitely a lot of things. Again, I do apologize by not getting more pictures up. Just been super busy, but again, this is where all these donations go. Okay, so we got Reggie. Okay, thank you. Randy Mercer, you're welcome. Thank you. All right. trucker, la, la, la. If pain is stated several times in the evidence, is there anything that could be done to get VA to grant the claim, or can the C&P doctor do anything because they didn't check the box? Okay. Now, one thing, if you file a claim for a particular condition, okay, and you add pain in that wording, in that claim, and I'm claiming a lumbar condition with pain on reduced range of motion, and you go to the C&P exam and the doctor says, yes, we're going to service connect it, and they give you 0%, then you can do a high-level review and say, hey, I claimed pain with the back, and the adjudicator could have used pain to grant the 10%. Now, if you're at 10% already for a joint, you got to take pain off the table. All right. So again, when you get to the high-level review, if you fall within that scenario, then that's the way that you can argue it. Okay. So, depending on how long ago you got out, my C&P DBQs are showing up through TRICARE online under documents. Okay. But that's through, should be through DOD. Okay. We got 116 people, got a couple, about 10 minutes left. Let me know how many likes we have. Oh, here, good day from Savannah. I am TDIU 90%. I would like to file a secondary claim for radiculopathy for back pain. The goal is SMCS. Is this a good idea? It wouldn't be if you're not educated, but if you're educated, you know what you're doing with your claim. Now, I think when I did the one of my last videos where I say secondary conditions with no nexus. So let's just say you did an increase for your back, right? And on there, the doctor lists radiculopathy. And I note this, I talk about this in that video, this exact scenario, okay? So you go in for an increase, the doctor notes, let's just say your forward flexion, you're at 40% for your back, it stays at 40%. But also in that diagnosis section, he or she states a diagnosis of bilateral lower extremity radiculopathy or the sciatic or femoral nerve. And they fill out the radiculopathy section of the DBQ. You don't need a nexus. The adjudicator has to grant that benefit because radiculopathy is a known complication of a back condition. Normally you see it under a lumbar strain and not under DDD, degenerative disc disease. But I'm not a medical provider. So if your doctor says, yes, you have it and it's on that form, then they have to grant it, okay? Kevin Dave found out today you can meet the requirements of the TDIU with a total of 7%, and the issue claim for the TDIU is 30%, meet the requirements. Okay, again, I did the video on TDIU showing the requirements. Definitely go out there and check that out, okay? And Monica, okay. Hello, sir. I originally, I don't understand that, Michael. Okay, I've already answered that. Thought before you would have to do extra scheduler. I'm thinking going back to IU. It could be. Every claim is different, but just think about the basic requirements for TDIU. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we did get those lights up. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm just going back through. Okay. All right. So we got about 5 minutes left. We're going to go through. I thank everyone that gave donations. It's their time. Thank you, sir. Definitely appreciate it. Reggie, thanks for the support. Randy Mercer, thanks. Definitely appreciate it. I think we already did those. B Bird, thank you. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Let's see if we got anybody else. Annette, thank you for the super sticker, the donation. Also, thanks for the support to the channel and my monthly roundtables. You've been in several, so thank you for the support. All right, so I'm going to get back to a couple more questions here. All right. John says, will the VA hire new raters to handle the overflow of new incoming PAC claims? That I don't know, But let me tell you this, just because they hire new employees doesn't mean that, hey, it's going to reduce their backlog, because those employees have to get up to speed. And guess what? While they're getting up to speed, they're in training, more claims are coming in. Okay. So I know sometimes management may think, oh, we hire more people, it's going to help with the backlog. It could down the road, but while they're in training, they still have an influx of claims coming in. All right. But I think the VA has done a good job by implementing some different processes that has helped to reduce that backlog, the wait times. Because back when I was working there, the average wait time is like a year. Now, I was talking to one of my clients that was able to get an increase, and he says, "Hey, Dwayne," I said, "I got a rating decision in the mail." Super excited. He was like, went from 20, I think 10 or 20 down up to 80. And I asked him, I said, "Well, wait a minute. When did you file this claim?" He was like, 4 months. So, which is quick. Some of our clients have gotten a rating decision done in less than 2 weeks, but they had DBQs and nexus statements. We ensured that they were actually more sufficient for them. They were educated, and they went through the claim really fast. And we have some that's been waiting over 6 months. It just depends, okay? Which regional office, what is their workload at that regional office. And again, the VA employees, and you got that CMP examiner. Now, if you got your own DBQ and nexus, we've been seeing those go through a little bit faster, but some people run into that buzzsaw where they get that certain VA employee that just don't want to use your private DBQ, and then you may be in for a fight, which would prolong your claim. Good evening. A mental health DBQ has 5 of the 100% symptoms checked, but the box check was occupational social deficiencies in most areas, giving me 70. How they review agreed with 70. How to appeal. The DBQ sold 70%. Okay. Now keep in mind, just because you got service connected, but you didn't get the percentage you wanted, what did the DBQ show? What did the exam show? A lot of our clients, when they become clients and they submit their DBQ, we know, okay, especially on the mental, depending on if they have any other evidence, which box means what. Okay, this box, total and social, certain amount of symptoms, 100%. Okay. If it's 70%, like, occupational and social deficiencies in most areas, that's 70. So you have to look at that DBQ and then also look at the diagnostic code criteria and see that and match up the information from the DBQ with the diagnostic code criteria. And if it's 100%, then that's something that you want to argue on how they review. If it's 70%, you're going to lose that every time, because that's what the evidence showed at the time they adjudicated their claim. So going to the high level review, they're just upholding that decision unless they see other evidence in the claims file that will warrant granting you that 100%. Okay. And that's for any claim. Keep that in mind. Does the VA look at our social media? Oh, wow. Good question. I don't know. When I rated, did I go out and look at veterans' Facebook page and see what they were doing? No. I didn't do that. Didn't have time. I was on a quota. I had to meet that quota, daily quota. So I was, going through this stuff as fast as possible. A lot of times I didn't even eat lunch. I would maybe my wife would fix my lunch, and I would go and heat it up and come right back and be sitting at my desk eating while I'm working a claim. Okay. New subscriber, hey, thanks for the support. Welcome. Been out 30 years and just filed claims a few months ago and waiting for a decision. Thank you for all the great advice. United States Marine Corps, 88 to 92. Not a problem. Welcome to the channel. Hope to see you in more Veterans Roundtable. And don't forget, anyone can join my Facebook Veterans group. I put out a lot of information there. I'm thinking about doing just a private Q&A for the members on there as well. J Love, hello, Mr. Kimball. I'm a Gulf War vet, rated at 10% for a knee and 0% for hernias. I'm currently being diagnosed with PTSD from the VA. I missed my CMP appointment back in '96. Can I refile for my knee? Yes, you can. Okay. Can a veteran receive SMC and TDIU with a 70% 40 That SMC confuses me. I have a TBI. Yes, you can. So let's just say you give you an example, AJ. If you're TDI, if you're 70% for PTSD, let's just take PTSD, 70% for PTSD, and that's what they granted you your IU for. And you have 50% for sleep apnea, okay? And then you have 30% for migraines. You are entitled to SMCS because that 70% for PTSD, if that's the only condition, that means they look at that as the single 100%, and then you have other disabilities totaling 60% or higher. Okay, so if you have one disability for IU, in this example, PTSD at 70, that will constitute 100%. That's why you got the IU. And if you have other disabilities totaling 60% or higher, they have to grant SMCS housebound. Okay. All right. So that's the last question I'm going to take for the night. Sorry if I didn't get to the question. Definitely apologize. Oh, wait a minute. I see someone that has connected with me on LinkedIn. Let's bring them up. Okay, Ray. All except MST now. Those are now work only at the San Juan regional office. Okay, so all except MST now. Okay, I worked at the San Juan. Now, I can't remember. Somebody did ask that earlier, Ray. So, hey, you know what, Ray? I got a question for you. Don't want to put you on the spot, but got a quick question for you. So I'll stay logged on until if Ray is willing to answer this question. Ray, what are some of the reasons when veterans submit the DBQs? And let's just say these DBQs are actionable and sufficient, meaning the rater can actually use it. Why are some VA employees still going out and scheduling some exams? This happened to me, and I was a rating specialist at the time. So I knew. I was like, you know what? I rated hundreds of cases. I know what makes the DBQ actionable and sufficient. So if you could answer that for me, Ray, I really would appreciate it. Sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, but I'm just curious. I'm pretty sure the other supporters are curious as well. Okay, so we got 127 people. I'm gonna try to stay on a few minutes to see if Ray answers that. Okay, what sound is gone? Okay, I should be. I can hear. Okay, so I'm still got audio. Shout out. Okay, all right. Good here too. Okay. So, all right. So while we're waiting on Ray to come back on and answer that question, I'll give a couple minutes. Yep, Mike, let's smash that like button. Got 128 people, so I think we got over 100 likes in here. Yep. Fee says we got 116, we got 125, we got 122. Okay. So while we're waiting on Ray to see if he answers that question for us, I'll take a couple more. Can the VA start a CUE on supplemental if evidence was overlooked on original and would pay go to original claim after the year? Thank you. It could be. It could be. Sometimes, raters do find a CUE on a claim that they previously worked with. Somebody else may find a CUE. Okay. It just depends. But again, I did a YouTube video on CUEs. Okay. Veterans, I've had clients. I educated, had veterans become clients and educated them on CUEs. And guess what? They won that CUE. One thing to keep in mind about a CUE, it doesn't expire. So if the VA committed a CUE back in 2000, you as the vet catch it. If I review some vets' rating decisions back there from that time, and we found CUEs and they've actually won. Okay. So I'm just trying to scroll down to the bottom and see if Ray answered that question. Mario, thanks for joining, Mario from LinkedIn. Thanks for all those inputs. Not a problem. Thank you. Let's see. So Robert Rodriguez, hey, thanks for the support. Definitely appreciate it. Brian attended my CMP, had two DBQ in Nexus, but still denied for obstructive sleep apnea, secondary to allergic rhinitis and sinusitis. So, Brian, if you had your own DBQs, just curious, what was the reason to go to that third-party CMP exam? Okay, you said stay off the devil's social media. Okay. High Desert Dave. Hey, thanks for the support, Dave. Definitely appreciate it. Okay, we got someone on Facebook. I'm already 60% for arthritis in both hips. Chondromalacia in both knees, C-section scar. Okay. Let's see. Carlos said, no, just got on. I'm still waiting on to see if Ryan was be able to answer that question for me. File supplemental claim for obstructive sleep apnea. Initial claim, HLR denied. I submitted 2 DBQs in Nexus. Okay, so again, I think you probably fell in that scenario where you had, was your DBQs and Nexus statements actionable and sufficient? Then the second thing is, why go to that CMP exam if they were actionable and sufficient? See, Clint Eastwood, can 100% PNT permanent total be reduced if they don't put in another claim? Hardly ever do you see that. Okay. And one thing I will say, keep in mind when raters do a decision, do a rating, and this is decision review officers do ratings, especially at the high level review. Back when I rated, I would get 5 rating decisions pulled a month for quality review. They were always behind. I think one time it got up to like 6 months behind. So it's August. They may say, okay, we've completed all your reviews for, let's just say, February, and now we're working on March. So if I granted someone 100% PNT in March and they pull one of those ratings and they say, oh, wait a minute, you shouldn't have granted 100% PNT and call it error, then, and I had to go back and correct it, then I may have to sever or reduce. You'll see it in a situation like that, but rarely seldom will you see it. Okay, here we go. Ray says, if it's a DBQ that requires an in-person exam like back, knee, etc., and the DBQ shows the examiner is located beyond a reasonable distance from the vet, then it is common for raters to submit for an exam request. Okay, Ray, I do agree with in-person exams. There's certain exams that have to be done in person, but the M21 now states that a veteran can do a telehealth and telemental exam. So let's just say the vet is in Los Angeles and the doctor doing let's say the vet is claiming an increase for PTSD, okay? And the doctor that's doing the PTSD increase exam can do it by telemental per the M21, right? And that doctor's in DC. Why can't that be sufficient? Because I haven't seen anything in the M21 stating that it has to be within a certain distance, especially if they're doing telehealth and telemental. And by the way, a lot of third-party contractors are 2 or 3 hours away from the vet. Okay, so just throwing that out there, Ray. Just curious, but if it's something that I'm missing in the 38 CFR, the M21, about the reasonable distance, I know we're connected. I think we're connected on LinkedIn. I know I saw something. I'm bad about that because I'm running, Twitter, Instagram, and stuff. So I do apologize. Give me that information, Ray, if you don't mind. Definitely will appreciate that and want to see a little bit more. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. We got some. For mental health exams, if the DBQ shows symptoms clearly inconsistent with treatment records finding them, a VA exam may be ordered, but practice that's not very common or recommended taught at training. You are correct. Now, with that, Ray, I've been seeing, Ray brings up a good point. You get treatment at the VA, and it shows in those progress notes, raters have access to that. Then you go out to a private doctor and you get a DBQ. And that DBQ shows something totally different from those progress notes you've been receiving treatment for. That could cause a problem. It's going to come down to the rater. I know I did hundreds of claims. I would look at it, but I always leveled that DBQ because that was most recent, okay? Because people's symptoms, they go up and down, they change. So that was probably the most recent, and that's what I went with. Some raters don't do that, okay? They'll go back and they'll look like, oh, wait a minute, your DBQ shows 70, but all this treatment that you've been getting years prior shows 50. I'm giving you 50. You know, I really leveraged that DBQ because it was most current in most cases. Okay. But guess what? If you don't get any treatment at the VA, then they can't use that against you, right? Okay. Because a lot of veterans, they don't get treatment at the VA. All right. For whatever reason. Okay. So Ray, hey, I really appreciate it. Make sure that I accepted on LinkedIn. I do remember seeing something. I do apologize, but I didn't want to call you out, but I just wanted to ask those quick questions. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the clarification tonight. Definitely appreciate it. Okay. Don West, I Miss Kimball, how do they rate restless leg syndrome? I read neuritis through so that's through neurological body system. I would have to go out and look at that DBQ. I would have to go out and look at the current criteria for restless leg syndrome, and then look at the DBQ to answer that. So I don't want to get into it too much now because I'm not looking at that information. And keep in mind, people, when raters look at these DBQs and the 38 there's the rating schedule. There's a lot. You know, there's certain diagnostic codes that I can still remember because I came across them on a daily basis. I knew what some of that criteria was without even looking at it. But some new stuff, you know, some things like restless leg syndrome, you don't see a lot of those claims. So I would have to go out to the rating schedule and look at that. Okay. Scroll up, please. I had a question before that. Go ahead and answer it. Beverly, I do hate that I missed it. I'm a little bit over time, but I want to make sure I get that question answered for you. Can you upload info for appeals online? No. If you're talking about evidence, when you do a high-level review, you can send in evidence. But look at that 0996. It's clear. You can send it in, but they're not going to consider it. They used to, but they're not going to consider it. All right? Okay. I'm going to hold on, Miss Beverly. Go ahead and answer that question. Yep, I addressed that on the next. Thanks, Ray. I really appreciate that. Okay. Man, Ray's chiming in. I appreciate it, Ray. 100% agree. We resolve reasonable doubt on behalf of the vet every time, but as long as the DBQ isn't way off. Okay, I get you. There you go. Somebody put that in there. Diagnostic code 8620. Yep. So that's under neurological. Go and look at that criteria and check it out. Thank you, Mr. Kimball. Got his CMP exam tomorrow for restless leg syndrome. Okay. There we go. All right. So Miss Beverly, I'm at the bottom of the question. So just waiting on you to answer that question because I scrolled back up and I didn't see it. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. Have you heard of any claims for, I can't even pronounce that, severe blood cancer is associated with high altitudes? I have not. I know I have not. Not saying that it's not a service-connected condition of, somebody hadn't been treated for it. You're stationed in Colorado. But I would say this, Ms. Beverly, look at the 5 ways of service connection. Look at the 5 ways of service connection and see where that condition falls. And what I mean by that, look at the criteria for the 5 different ways of service connection. Okay. And if you see that you meet that criteria, what evidence do you need to get service connected for? Okay. But definitely I would start there. So in one of my first videos, YouTube videos I actually uploaded, what did I do? Oh, it was the 5 ways of service connection. I go through each one and give some examples of each one. So start there. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'll take one last question. I know. What are the chances to get your rating lowered at 5 years visiting doctor and psychiatrist? No improvements in 70%. I did a video where I interviewed a mentor of mine, an individual that has 35 plus years of VA experience. I call her, she's a walking dictionary, VA dictionary, okay? And she explains the protection rule. She talks about the 5-year experience, okay? That video is from November of last year. It's about 45 minutes long, okay? She's talking about the 20-year protection rule and a 5-year experience. All that information is in there. Go to my YouTube channel and check that out, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close out tonight. If I didn't get to your question, I do apologize. I'm about 15 minutes over my scheduled time. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, join my Facebook group, connect with me on LinkedIn. We had, I think, about 3 or 4 people that connected in from LinkedIn. Ray, I will be reaching out to you on LinkedIn. Let's have a discussion, like to prick your brain about some things, maybe even share some stuff with some veterans. Also, like I stated earlier, if you're part of an organization and your organization hire veterans, you want to bring a company in to do the presentation, the basics on the VA claims process, go to a website, put it in the comment section under the group training, and you can see how this training will be beneficial to that organization's veteran employees or a university, community college, or whatever, okay? Thanks for all the donations. We'll be getting those pictures updated on our website of the school disbursements for this year. So definitely appreciate it. And thank you for your service. Good night.